Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, collective. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. This is going to be your inner wisdom compass oracle message. I am going to keep it a little bit shorter. I'm just going to pull 4 cards for you guys, see what you guys got going on out here, and probably pull some clarifiers, maybe some additional advice from the Cosmic Energy deck, just to give you some advice. But let's see what you guys got going on. All of my current followers and subscribers, welcome back in, you guys. Thank you for always rocking with me and supporting me and the channel. It is so appreciated, you guys. All of the incoming followers and subscribers, welcome in. Hopefully, some of this information is useful for you as well. Okay. All right. Let's give me 4. Oh, let me see what's going on with you guys here. 2 more, please. 2 more. Okay, that's too many. Let me see what I got. Interesting. Okay. Obviously, there's going to be more than 4. So obviously, we got some stuff to talk about here. Okay. All right. What is going on out here with my collective, you guys? So the first card we have is honesty. It has always been said that honesty is the best policy. Always remember to be honest with yourself and others. And then we have no. No is a word we all need to use more often and stand on it. We also need to accept and receive it as a right of others. Okay, that came out in the reverse. Who's having a hard time telling people no out here? Okay, and then we have flexibility. Sometimes it's just best to go with the flow. Everything in life will not always, it's not always gonna go your way. Bend, don't break. And then we have love yourself. In order to love someone else, you must first love yourself. That's so true. And then we have awaken. It's time to awaken to a new day and a new you. You are no longer a caterpillar, you're a butterfly. And I know that you guys are beautiful butterflies as well. And then we have epiphany. Every day is a day to learn or discover something new. No matter how small or great, knowledge is power. Let's see what you guys got going on. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see. I see. So again, the message, if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. Take what does and leave what does not. Not every message is for everyone. But whoever I am talking to, you are having a hard time being honest with other people and telling people no. You are way too flexible. So you have people around you and in your life who are very, very demanding. That's what it seems like to me. And you have been made to feel like you are required to always be available whenever they need you to be available. And if you're being honest with yourself, you have a hard time telling them no. You have a hard time And maybe you've been mentally trained to be this way. Maybe you've been this way your whole life. Maybe because of who it is that's asking you, again, maybe it's your parents. Maybe you have a very demanding spouse. Whatever the case may be, or children, put it where it goes. The bottom line is you're not being honest with yourself. You don't know how to say no to these people. And they know that you will constantly bend to their will. You will constantly find a way to do the things that they're asking of you, no matter what that is, no matter whether you have the ability to actually do it or not. You are way too flexible out here. And it is breaking you down a little bit. That's why you have this message of encouragement to wake up and love yourself in this situation, because you realize you've had this recent epiphany and thought, well, what if I wasn't around? What would they do without me? How would they get by if they didn't have me to depend on? And that's a valid question. But guess what? They've never had to think about that because you never gave them a reason to have to think about that. You've never given them a reason to learn how to survive by themselves. I don't know. I could be also talking to a group of you who have this idea that you need people to be dependent on you to feel worthy somehow. That is the thing I've definitely learned. And that's usually for my masculines out here. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you were made to think that if you were not a provider or if you were not a yes man and you were not giving 100% of the time to your quote unquote family, that you were less than a man. Maybe you need that in order to have your ego stroked somehow. Because, you know, as long as people depended on you, it means that you were needed, but you're not valued. Of course, they need you. They need you to fulfill all of their desires and their fantasies and, you know, their everyday needs in life while you are absolutely exhausted and don't take any time to love on yourself. And at the end of the night, probably the only thing you probably want to do is sleep. But I think it seems like recently this has hit you that it doesn't feel that great anymore. Maybe you are waking up to the fact that you are being taken for granted. You are not being treated fairly. There's no balance here. And maybe there's a fear of saying no because of the repercussions. Maybe, again, if we're talking about a spouse, maybe you got a little bit of a wild one. They don't like the word no. Or maybe you have overly demanding parents who expect you to be perfect and cater to them and do for them, maybe now in their older age, which is very interesting to me because it's like, I understand having to take care of like a, parent that's ill or that's sick and things like that. But if your parents are in perfect health, but they're just older, shouldn't they still be supporting you? I feel like sometimes parents use that title as a sense of entitlement and they take advantage of the fact that they know that their kids love them and they feel like they can get anything out of them just for being your parent. Not respect, not you know, for any other reason except the fact that they know that you won't say no to them. And hey, some people are okay with that. If you are okay with that, no judgment. I'm just reading the message that I'm seeing here. I'm talking to those of you who are pretty worn down from this situation. Again, and it could be your job, it could be a relationship, it could be your parents. Again, flip it where it goes because we all have different stories. But this message is about someone who is overly giving, who does not know how to say no, who is constantly bending themselves to the point of being unrecognizable in order to keep smiles on everybody else's faces except their own. So my only question is, like Janet Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?" Mm-hmm. I mean, has anybody done anything for you out of the kindness of their heart to show you their appreciation? Have they? And if they did, was it truly something you needed? Was it done without you having to ask for it? Or was it just maybe your birthday passed and they were required to do something nice? I'm just saying, the reality of the situation is everyone deserves equal give and take. Everyone deserves to be appreciated and respected, especially if you are a provider. If you take pride in being able to take care of your family and the people you love and being good at your job, respect is required and it should be. And I think you're starting to feel that and understand that. Good, good. It's okay to demand that because, again, if these are people who truly love and support you, they will respect it. People will only take from you what you allow. And it doesn't mean you have to be cold hearted and not give, but you also deserve that same level of respect and care. Let me pull a few cosmic energy oracle cards here. See what other messages of advice I can give you before we close this out. If this message is resonating for you guys, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. I am on both YouTube and TikTok. I would greatly appreciate your support. And just so that I can continue to bring you some life advice and encouragement. Let me see. One more, please. Get one more. Okay. All right. So the first one says grace. Grace is the universe's blessing. Open your heart to receive it. Yeah, you need some grace. You need people to give you grace, to give you a break. Like I said, whoever it is that this message is for, I can tell that you work so hard, but I feel like people don't give you a break. They don't give you any leeway to mess up or to not come through. And I feel like you're met with adversity if you don't do what you're being asked. That's not okay. So it's time for you to transform. Transformation is the soul's evolution. So again, you've had this epiphany that it's time to start loving yourself a little bit more. You're waking up to the fact that you need to become this butterfly You can't be this caterpillar anymore and hide away in this shell and allow people to treat you less than what you deserve and how you deserve to be treated. Creativity is your inner expression. Unleash it. Yeah, I think it's time for you to open up and start finding creative ways to say no to these people who are absolutely over demanding of you. Maybe if you found a way to be creative, maybe finding a hobby or finding a reason to be more involved with yourself, maybe you won't always be available. Maybe you won't always be around for them to depend on because you will be too busy doing things for yourself, creating something for you. Maybe that's what that message is saying. They know your every move. Maybe you live to do things for them and you don't really have much going on for yourself outside of that. So maybe it's time to find something, find a way to express yourself in a creative way and have hope. Hope is the light in the darkness, never extinguish it. This situation can definitely get better if you choose it, if you choose to speak up for yourself, you choose to start loving on yourself, demanding the respect that you give, I'm sure, everyone else. You deserve respect from everybody, friends, spouses, parents, it doesn't matter, kids. Again, that was a lesson that was hard for me to learn, and I didn't learn it until very recently, I'll say, that it doesn't matter who the person is in your life, what the situation is, there should always be a level of respect that you expect for yourself. The title is just the title. It's the meaning behind it and it's the power behind it that people push onto you that you don't have to accept. Just because you are my spouse or my parent doesn't mean that I have to allow you to disrespect me in any way, shape, or fashion. Again, because that's not love anyway. That's someone wanting to be in control. That's manipulation, not things that I want. So hopefully this gets better for you, whoever this is for. Don't be afraid of it because you deserve it. You deserve better. You are worth more. All right. Well, that's what I have for you guys. Again, if the message did resonate, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. But until next time, collective, bye.